Hello, I am Johnny Bulum Bulum. I was born in Arnhem, Australia in 1946. I was an important ceremonial leader and one of the most important ceremonial singers in my town. I was the boss of the ceremony. My father and my uncle showed me how to paint and carve wood. When I was a young man, me and my family moved from my country to Mangalala. But when my dad passed away, we moved to live with my uncles. I was so sad of my father's death, so I quit painting. I started working like a carpenter, doing new houses in my community, like a plumber, and delivering food from the local stores. And during that time, I met my first wife, Nelly, and I started to work in the art center. I returned to my art practice, doing what my father taught me, and always in the eyes of my uncle. And my first son came, and I was perfectioning my trademark works and popular works. During the 1980s, I collaborated with other artists, academics, and filmmakers. During the 1990s, my work were exhibited in USA, Japan, and Germany. During the 2000s, my work were exhibited in Spain, France, and the Netherlands. And I died in 2010 in Arnhem, Australia. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Sasha Quinn. I am a Chinese painter. I like painting landscape and still life. I studied in the Soviet Union. I returned to China to teach other artists. I was born in 1930. I have 93 years old. All my paintings are around the world and famous internationally. I'm finished.
Hello, my name is Raquel. I was born in Mexico in 1907. When I was 6 years old, I suffered from a terrible disease called polio. This caused my right leg and foot to grow much thinner than my left. I began painting after a bus accident. I was so much in pain that I could not leave my bed. My right leg was amputated to the knee due to gangrene. I started to paint my injuries and disability of myself. Later, I met Diego Rivera, that was a famous painter, but I was famous also. I married Diego Rivera, but our marriage was a disaster. My eyebrows are brown and they meet in the middle of the bridge of my nose. My hair is also black, and I decorate it with beautiful flowers. I usually wear long, colorful skirts. My most famous paintings are self-portrait and the thorn necklace and the hummingbird, the two Fridas, and the broken color. Sadly, I died in 1954 in Mexico City. I was only 46 years old. Thank you for your attention.
Good morning, I am Alexander Calder. I was a sculptor. I was born in Pennsylvania in 1898 and died in New York City in 1976. I am known for my innovative mobiles, my monumental public sculptures, and my jewelry. Here in Caracas, I have two very important works: the nubes flotantes in the aula magna in the Universidad Central de Venezuela and La Ciudad at the Galería de Arte Nacional. Las nubes were designed to combine art and technology, making one of the 5 better acoustic auditorium in the world. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Manuel Cabre. I was born in Barcelona, Spain in 1819. But my family moved to Venezuela when I was 6 years old, from a young age. I always have a great passion to the art and painting. I fondly remember when my father took me to his studio in the Academy of Fine Art in Caracas, where I later began my formal studios. During my youth, I worked in a marble workshop, but my true vocation was painting. I had the opportunity to travel to France, where I became fascinated by the Parisian aesthetic school. However, Upon a return to Venezuela, I felt that my art should reflect more about the traditions and landscape of my beloved country. During my career, I dedicate hours capturing the light, colors, and essences of the Ávila in my canvas, which rises over Caracas. I love the Ávila. That is the reason that I paint a lot of mountains, and that is the reason that I paint landscapes. Thank you for your attention.
Hello, my name is Rafael Monasterios. I was born in Barquisimeto on November 22nd of 1884. After the death of my parents, I went to live with a priest named Pablo Gustó. I started painting in my early childhood. In 1908, I registered in the Academy of Beautiful Arts. Between 1911 and 1912, I studied in the Academy of Beautiful Arts in Barcelona, Spain. When the First World War began, I had to return to Venezuela, and in order to survive, I worked as a car and furniture painter. In Venezuela, I met a Russian painter and we did an exhibition together. In 1938, I was designated the head of the plastic arts school in Zulia. And in 1956, I retired. So, in summary, me, Rafael Monasterios, am one of the greatest landscape artists of the 20th century. Thank you.
Hello, I am Jesus Soto. I was born on Ciudad Bolívar, Venezuela, in June 5 of 1923. From an early age, I was drawn to art and music, influences that would shape my creative path. As a young man, I moved to Caracas to study at the School of Arts, where I began to forge my artistic vision. In 1915, my quest for new horizons took me to Paris, the city that would become my home until my passing in 2005. There, I discovered masters like Paul Klee and Piet Mondrian, whose works inspired me to dynamize neoplasticism. I began one of the main representatives of the kinetic and optical arts, exploring seriality and the perception of movement. My first kinetic structures emerged in 1956. I created many venerables like the interior decoration of the UNESCO building in Paris or the many public spaces in Caracas. In my career, I received numerous accolades, just like the National Prize of Art of Venezuela and the Picasso Medal from UNESCO. My legacy continues at the Jesus Soto Museum of Modern Art in my hometown, where I donated the vast collection of my artworks and those of other international artists. My life was a constant movement, an unceasing search for new ways of expression that invited the public not only to see the art but to live and feel it. As Jesus Rafael Soto, I left an indelible mark on the art world, and my passion for dynamism and optical continues to inspire future generations. Thank you for your attention.
Hello everyone, I am Carlos Eduardo Cruz Diez, and today I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my life and my works as an artist. I was born in Caracas, Venezuela in 1923. Since I was a child, I was passionate about art and colors. I became a famous artist for my works of kinetic art, which are those that change color and shape depending the angle you are looking at them. My works are full of bright and vibrant colors to make people feel happy to see them. One of my most famous works is the Physichromy series, where I use colored panels to create optical illusions that change as you are looking. I have created public installations in all around the world, such as the chromatic camera in Caracas, Venezuela. It's a labyrinth of surprising colors. I died at the 95 years old. I love experimenting with colors and shapes to create unique and exciting art. I hope you enjoyed it knowing a little bit more about me. Thank you for listening.
Hello, how are you? I'm Fernando Botero. I was born in April 1932. When I was a child, I attended to a school for editors many years. But my real passion was art. While I was still a teenager, I started painting. My art was mostly inspired using pre-Columbian Spanish colonial paintings and by the Mexican muralist Diego Rivera. My art was mostly expressed using full-sized figures, both humans and other living things. This style is now known as botulism. I also used this style to create sculptures, such as my cats, famous all around the main avenues of all the big cities around the world. My first painting exhibition was in 1948. 2 years later, I had my first one-man show exhibition in Bogota. Starting in the 1950s, I kept studying art, and I made my living copying, painting from the Prado Museum in Madrid until I died in September 15, 2023, when I was 91 years old. Thank you for your attention.
I was born in Spain on May 1904. Since I was a child, I love paint. My parents support me to study art. I am famous for my style called surrealism, where I paint things that look like dreams, such as melting clocks and elephants with long legs. I made significant works. Persistence of Memory, Show Melting Clock, The Elephant, an elephant with long and thin legs like in a dream. The Face of War, a sad face with expressing horror of war. Some fun fact of me. I have a very particular mustache. I also design jewelry and clothing. I am a very creative artist. My paints invite you to dream and see the world in another way. I hope you enjoyed it learning about me. Thank you.
Good morning, my name is Andy Warble. I was born in 1928, 6th of August, Pennsylvania. When I have 8 years old, I get sick and my mom teach me how to draw. Since I was very little, when I saw love seeing fashion magazines. When I graduate from high school, I go to university to study art. I work as a commercial artist for magazines and also designed pictures. I also draw pictures of famous people with different colors. My most famous paintings are Marilyn Monroe. My dad is in 1987 doing to me an operation. Thank you for your attention.
My name is Camille Claudel and I am a French artist born in 1864 in a small village called Fer-et-Tardenois. I was the first child of a family of farmers. When I was little, I wanted to be an artist. My mom didn't let me. She thought it was very unladylike, but my dad was very supportive. So he sent me to an art academy where I did clay and some other paintings. And he sent them to their neighbor's house who was also an artist. His name was Alfred Butcher. He said I was very good. Then when I was older, I had a chance to do a project with Alfred, but it was in Italy and I was still living with my family. So he sent me a mentor called Agustin Rodin. I was Agustin's confidant and model. He thought he was my lover, but he had another woman and never left her. I was very sad about that, so I ended my relationship with Rodin. I disappeared for long periods of time and had signs of paranoia. Some say I had schizophrenia, and my mom and brother were very cruel and secluded and secured me in a psychiatric hospital in 1913, 10 days after my father died. Then I was there until my death in 1943. I was 30 years in an asylum. Thank you for your attention.
Hello, my name is Johannes Vermeer. I was born I was baptized in October 41st in 1642 in Delft, Netherlands. I was the first of 2 children. Leonard Brammer and Karel Fabricius taught me art. By the age of 26, I painted my first painting, The Procurist, with the art method chiaroscuro, very famous in the Renaissance. By the age of 21, I married Katarina Bones. With her, I had 15 children. Unfortunately, 4 died very young. In all my life, I did 36 paintings. One of the most famous is the girl with the pearl earring. Fun fact, I painted the earring of the girl with the pearl earring with just 2 brushstrokes. I was one of the best painters in the Dutch Golden Age. I started painting and inspired by religion. I was slow painting. I can paint just 3 paintings a year, and I have my paintings in 7 different countries in the world: Germany, France, United States, Ireland, United Kingdom, Austria, and Netherlands. And I died in 1670. Thank you for your attention.
Hello, my name is Gertrude Goldsmith, better known as Gego. I was born in the German city of Hamburg in August 1912, and I graduated in engineering mention in architecture at 1938. In 1952, I emigrated to Venezuela to obtain Venezuelan nationality. In 1914, I met the German businessman Ernst Gans, who married me. With my support, I created the Gans Workshop, dedicated to the design and elaboration of furniture and lamps for architects. I was of Jewish origin. My first presentation was here in Caracas, and I did in 17 September of 1994. Thanks for your attention.
Hello, I am Cristóbal Poleo, and I was born in 1857 in Cuba, Miranda State, Venezuela. From an early age, I showed great talent for drawing and painting, and I was influenced by my father, Dr. Pistola Rojas, who was also fond of art. In 1875, I entered the Academy of Fine Arts of Caracas, where I received my formal artistic training under the tutelage of teachers like Antonio de la Toro and Martin Tovar. In 1883, I moved to Paris, France, where I immersed myself in the artistic atmosphere of the time. There, I learned about the currents of Impressionism and Realism, and I was also influenced by the works of Spanish artists. In my stay in Europa, I consolidated my own style, characterized by use dark colors, dramatic lights, and representation of historical and social themes of Venezuela. Among my most recognized arts are the Head of Yorot in Bárbula, the Meninas, and the Caína. And I died in Caracas at the age of 33 years old in 1819. Thank you for your attention.
Hello, my name is Raul Lichtenstein. I was born in 1923 in New York City. I are a pop art. One of my most famous paintings is one. One is in other museum in the world, and other is Explosion. Explosion is exhibition in Tate Museum in London. It's where you see other the chapter of Batman and Superman. I study in Art Studies League. Went to the Art Studies League, I go to the second war. Went to the second war, I studied in Ohio University. Thank you for your attention.
Hello, my name is Ivan, and today I'm going to do a representation of my life. I'm born on 1928 and I died on 1962. I was a French artist. I am mostly known for my use of color blue and my exploration of immateriality and the void. I was born in Nice, France. I studied judo, which influenced me with its philosophy of emptiness and control of the body. In 1952, I traveled to Japan where I learned Oriental calligraphy that I reflected in my art. I was a pioneer of performance art, using the body and space as a canvas. Despite my short life, I left an important legacy on contemporary art. My fascination with blue, my exploration of the void, and my use of the body as an artistic tool inspired generations of artists. Fun fact, didn't you know that I made a stunt jumping from a building into the void, capturing it with a photograph? Thank you for your attention.
Hello, my name is Mark Franz. I was born on February 8, 1880 in Munich, Germany. My full names are Franz Maurice Wilhelm Mark. My parents were Sophie Morris and Wilhelm Mark. I studied in Academy of Fine Arts of Munich. In 1910, I got to meet and work with Wassily Kandinsky and founded Der Blaue Reiter, which means the Blue Raider. I married twice. Both of my wives were artists. I joined the German army, went to war, and died because of a splinter of a machine gun in the head in the Battle of Verdun. My paintings are mostly about animals in natural places, and I use bright and vivid colors and mostly straight lines to make them quite abstract. With this style of art, I became one of the greatest German expressionism figures of all times. My family house of Munich is marked with a historical plaque, and it's very old. Some of my famous paintings are the tiger, the fox, the large blue horses, and the yellow cow. I have painted 244 paintings and drawn 261 watercolors. Most of my paintings survived the World War II and are still preserved. When up for auction, my major paintings attract large sums, with a record of more than $24 million for the Grazing Horses 3. Nowadays, my paintings are displayed all around the world, and you can go to contemplate them. And remember, if you see me, I'm the German guy with a funny hat. Thanks for your attention.
Hello, my name is Peter Newman and this is my presentation. I was born in New York City on January 29, 1905 and studied philosophy. He has son of Jewish immigrant from Poland and an American artist. He has been considered by critics as one of the leading figures of abstract expressionism and one of the most prominent color field painters. Solid color would be his field. His first work were surrealist, but he ended up destroying them after a deep professional crisis that made him retire from painting for a few years at the age of 33. He took it up again, but with a renewed, more abstract style, completely breaking with European tradition. One day he discovered what his style would be. Newman placed vertical tapes in the middle of a colored surface. His intention was to remove it, but he decided to paint over it. This is who is famous. But was born compared to the dream. His vertical lines are kind of a signature that make painting recognize me. According to him, they represent rise of life. I died in July 4 on 1917 in the age of 16.5 of a heart attack in New York City. Thank you for your attention.
Hello, my name is Piet Melvin and this is a presentation for my life. My full name is Pieter Cornelis Melvin.
I was born in Amersfoort, a city in the Netherlands, March 7, 1872. I studied in the Amsterdam State Academy. I also my career as a primary school teacher. I also teaching practice painting consists of landscapes. At 39 years old, I moved to Paris. I will continue with my works. At 43 years old, I returned to Amsterdam, where I met Van der Hoel. I found the group Destiny. It was an artistic moment whose objective was the integration of the arts or total art. When I was 47 years old, I returned to Paris when I reduced my palette to the primary color black and white. At 58 years old, still Lola Prusac created a house for the house of Hermès in Paris, a complete line of black and lullaby directly inspired by my works. She made the most notable works: The Great Tree, Ablon Bottigieg version, Pierre and Ocean, composition with red, yellow, black, gray, and blue. 1 month after turning 72, I fell ill with pneumonia and left this earth in Nueva York, February 1, 1944. Thank you for your attention.
Hello, I'm Modi, short for Amateo Modigliani. Imagine you're a kid covered in paint. That's me. Who am I? Well, once upon a time, I was a kid just like you in Italy, who loves painting, butterflies, and maybe a little too much pasta. But as I grew up, I craved adventure, a place overflowing with creativity. So I grabbed my paints, a suitcase full of dreams, and hope on a train all the way to Paris, the city of art. Paris was amazing. It was like a giant museum with artists from everywhere. There I could finally paint the world in my own special way. My paints might be a little different. I love to paint people with long necks and sparkling eyes that tell stories. And guess what? I also love sculpting, transforming rocks in amazing creations. The coolest part, now my art is in museums worldwide. People get to see the world through my eyes with those long faces, big eyes, and awesome sculptures. Just to let you know, I was born on July 12, 1884. Even though I have tons of adventures, my time as an artist ended a bit early on January 24, 1920. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Fernand Leger, and I was born in France in 1881. I was a French painter, sculptor, and filmmaker. Most people say that my art is an early form of pop art, which is a movement that came in the 1950s, many years after I created my work. Initially trained as an architect, then I moved to Paris and started working as an architectural drawer, which means that I created technical drawings for other architects. Later, when I was 25 years old, is when I started working seriously as a painter. My first paintings showed the influence of Impressionism. Then I started working on a personal style of Cubism, which my critics have called Tubism because of the emphasis on cylindrical forms. At some time of my life, I went to military service and I spent 2 years in Agron with a French army during World War I. I almost died by an attack of the German troops, and then I spent more time painting. At some time, I almost gave up painting for filmmaking, and I made a movie called Mechanical Ballet. At that time, I was in a period called the Mechanical Period, where everything was more like of a mechanical color and texture. In 1931, I made my first trip to United States. I went to New York and California, and I exhibited my work in the Museum of Modern Art. Then I decorated Nelson Rockefeller's apartment. I stayed in the United States during World War II and taught at Yale University. And then I started working on mosaics and stained glass windows. I moved back to France and started working on mosaics and stained glass windows for the Central University of Venezuela in Caracas. I worked on a project in Brazil, but I couldn't finish it because sadly I died in 1955 in my home. Thank you.